Hey, Sat Nation, what's going on? I hope you all had a wonderful weekend so far. We still got one more day. If you're on the other side of Earth, well, then you're probably already starting your Sunday now. Want to take some time to do a market recap. We're going to talk about Friday's action. Again, this is for educational purposes, not financial advice. So please take it with a grain of salt and utilize it how you want. We're going to talk about a couple of things. One, what you see on screen right now is my Twitter page, and what you're gonna see is pretty much the pre-market game plan that I lay out every single time that you guys unlock my brain. So, and you can see this was at 8:24 a.m. US Eastern time, right? So we're recapping May 12th's action. So you had plenty of time to digest what information was provided, about an hour and 6 minutes. So let's just kind of talk about it. If you're new to me, I usually present a game plan. I utilize something called the strat along with other different types of trading strategy. That's why it says, hey, I'm a hybrid trader right here, right? So before we started Friday's action, Thursday, we were doing an inside day, right? Here's your inside day right here. So we knew it was the inside day and pointed that out. So inside day yesterday, we're looking for 312 setup, right? Meaning that we're looking for it to either break out the high or break out the low. That was the expectation based on this setup, right? This was your three, and this was your one, and we were looking for it to break up or down. And we didn't have a bias which side because we are just waiting for price action to tell us. Also, it's still in a rising wedge pattern, which you can see here. And I think I might have a different picture. Let me see if I have another picture. I do not, but that's all right. We showed it in past where it was basically a rising wedge. And then I gave you the pivots. I said 414, 5, 412, 412, 5, 410, 410, 5, right? Up means your upper level pivot. Up, left and right means your intraday. And then down means your down pivot. And then I marked off key levels, right? These key levels are just basically areas where, based on my own analysis, my view, where price is going to hit and then do some kind of reaction, whether it consolidates or bounces off or breaks through, right? But nonetheless, it's going to have a reaction once it gets to these. I always suggest that you all mark these levels off on your charts along with the pivot zones so that way you can see it when the price gets there. In addition to that, I also marked off gaps on my charts for you all because we have a gap here, we have a gap here, and then we go down to small details. You can see the high, lows, and 50% marks and whatnot. And this is what a 3-1-2 looks like, right? 3-1-2 up, 3-1-2 down. On top of that, I also gave you econ data, right? I said we had the import price month for month. We had the Fed speaker at 3 a.m. We had the Michigan consumer price, consumer sentiment. We also had Fed speaker Jefferson Boulevard at night. So that didn't really matter for that particular instance. I also said, hey, look, we have this upward channel that we're in terms of a bigger picture, and we have this rising wedge or falling channel in the small picture, right? So, excuse me, this smaller channel we would expect it to eventually break to the upside, and this larger channel eventually we break to the downside, right? That's kind of the rising wedge, falling wedge, right? So I was interested in this area, and this is ES, right? This was around 40, 45, 4,400, and then it'll break down to the downside. Just keep in mind, that's very important for later on. Again, I also said, look, looking for bulls to attempt to test that 414, 415. If it break that for continuation, 417. If they failed at any of these levels, it would be a fail to back up, fail to up and back down to 410, 412. And I said if it broke 411 on a failed attempt, I'd be looking for an outside day, bearish engulfing 3, target 410 or 409.9, right? So this is what I'm already thinking, right? I'm already formulating a plan in my head of what price could do, where we're at, what kind of candle would form. So, right, maybe looking for that first two up. And then if it failed and it broke a certain level, then I'd be actually looking for a 3. So remember that, all that said, right? Next we're going into the market looking for, a 3-1-2 either side, right? That's why you have 3-1-2 here. And nonetheless, anyway, let's go into the chart. So this is the chart of SPY on the 15-minute time frame, right? This was Wednesday's action. This is Thursday action, and we drew it, this wedge, and then this is Friday at 4 a.m. So we already have this wedge. We're expecting it to come in and out, and finally break out, right? So we have the gaps I drew, right? Here's the gaps. We have the top side pivot that I gave you, intraday pivot, downside pivot. We have the daily highs and lows, and 50%. And then we also have the key levels, right? The 409, 411.5, 413, 415, etc. Right? And you're like, oh, where you got those, right? I gave. This is what these are, right? These are the key levels I gave to you all, right? So we're gonna play out Friday's action for you. Again, keep in mind here are our pivot zones and our levels and our trend line. So we're just gonna play it out right here. So this was around 5 a.m. broke out, but then came back down. So you can say it's a false breakout so far. Look, it kind of just respected the whole entire time. 8:15 rolled around. Oops. Okay. So now we are at 9:15. Let me go back just a little bit. Excuse me, guys and girls. All right. Very important. 9:15, right? This is the near the market open. This is gonna be your first candle in the market open, right? So this is actually bearish engulfing, right? You can see that this on the 15-minute took out the high, failed, and came back down. So it's a bearish engulfing. That's our first 15-minute candle. It's a 3 candle, right? Excuse me, guys and girls. So we have a 3 candle here on the 15-minute. And look, clouds right now are bullish, and we still have, we're still expecting, when I get that plan, we're expecting the bulls to try to push it up. If they can't push it up, then we're going back down. So next one is a massive 2 candle down, right, on SPY. So we broke that 413 level. Let me bring it to the front so we can see it. So we broke the 413 level. We hit this, got close to intraday pivot, and then it rejected back off. So look, we have a 3 candle. Now we have a 2 candle, right? So now we're expecting another 2 candle, right? 322 is a combo, right? So that is one potential, right? So we closed that 15-minute candle at 412.8. We broke this key level 413. So we're expecting 322. If we want 3-2 up, we got to break 413.5. If we're expecting a 3 or 2 down, then we're expecting to break a 412.5. So you could have entered here on your first try, right? Look at that. Came back up, failed, and it came back down. And it actually went all the way down here, right? So you could have entered on the break of that at 412.5 and took it all the way down to 411.86, or you could have entered a little bit earlier. And I always say use smaller time frames, right? So you can see that it came up and just couldn't go any higher. I would have entered somewhere in between here, right? Probably at 412, 6, maybe 412, 6 flat, or 465, even at the break here, right? And then it broke through this intraday pivot and then came back up. So that could have been your first play. Again, 3-2-2 combo, right? I actually want to go down to the 10-minute to show you something where you could have entered this as well. So we are on the 10-minute now, right? So this was still a 3 candle. So was this, right? This was a 3. It went up, failed, came back down, and became a bearish engulfing candle, right? So now this is your 3. And look, on 10-minute, the clouds flip, right? So the first one, it already flipped. The 8, the EMA started crossing over here. You can see up here, the 8 started crossing the 21, and eventually right around open, it crossed the 34. So now it's bearish off this one, off that, 940 candle is bearish. This 950 candle on 10-minute is actually inside bar, right? It's contained within this. So what we could have done is like, hey, it came back up, failed, pretty much hit the clouds, rejected off. You can say it's almost an inverted hammer to the downside, right? So that's kind of showing that the sellers are here to push it down. Next time it came on 10 o'clock, look, it came up, touched, got to the clouds, I couldn't go any higher. This should have been your early entry. If not, you could have taken it at this this break here at the 412.57, right? This is the inside bar break, take it down, and you can see that it went to 411.8, and then it came back up, and look, we have another inside bar, right? So this is a number. So this is a 3-1-2 down combo. Now we have a 2-1, and we're either going upside, or to the downside. But remember, momentum's down right now because you can see the clouds, and it came down, right? So you can say, look, and again, we, failed to break through this daily high of Thursday, and we came back down. So you could have taken it here as well, right? 412, 4 down to 411.98. So just another instance of a great trade. Another thing to look at is so another combo is this was our 2-1-2. Now another combo is a 1-2-2, right? So this is our 1, this is our 2. We're closed below the pivot now, so we could take this down if it breaks below it. Oh, and look what it did. So it broke that. That's your 1-2-2 down. It could not come back through the pivot, right? So that was your other play right there as well. So then you could have taken that down off that break of 411.95 all the way down to 411.23, right? Broke this key level of the 411.5. Did not get to the 50% for the day. Got very close, very close. But again, right, we don't need to hit to the penny. You just got to remember that. This is just a reference, right? Usually there's going to be liquidity around this area. So never really to the penny. It's usually within a zone. So something to keep in mind. But again, look, you see that this was that wedge that we drew earlier, right? It broke out, came back up. Again, but that was your 1-2-2. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame and look at that as well, just so that we can see where we would have gotten, right? This was your 3-2-2 down. This was your inside bar in 15-minute. So you could have taken it down here, right? You see this 15-minute close. This 15-minute candle was just barely above it. As soon as it broke, you should have taken down because we're below the intraday pivot right now. So this would have been a great play right here at, pretty much 412 down to 412. 50 cents or no, I apologize, not 50 cents, about 80 cents move. And on a premium, that would have been freaking phenomenal. So that would have been your 2-1-2 down. Just something to keep in mind. So this is 10:30. So again, I just talked about multiple plays, right? And if you've gotten up here off that 3-2-2 up here, you would have been riding this down, right? You could have rode this down from 412, 413 pretty much down to 411.2, right? So that would have been a $1.80 move on SPY within 30 minutes, and that would have netted you probably 100% on your contracts, in all honesty. And we can check again on Monday to see if that was the case. But again, 30 minutes, look, another inside bar. But look, see, it's now stalling in this 411.5 and 411.2 zone, right? But still, it's an inside bar. So we're going to see, the other thing we can look at is what's going to happen next. So this actually came up, took out the high. You could have taken the long on this. I mean, it would have been quick 30 cents move. But look, it rejected off that intraday pivot again. Failed and came down and actually became a bearish engulfing. So that was our 3, right? So now we're looking for potentially a 1 or a 2 down. Probably not looking for a 2 up just because of the way it rejected, right? So we're looking for a 1 or a 2 down. And we got a 2 down, right? There you go. So you could have gotten in around 411.2, and this thing went to 410.74. So this is a 3-2, right? We're looking for a 3-2-2. We broke the 50% of the daily. Now we have a good chance to go for an outside bar. This is on 30-minute time frame, right? So 3, 2, looking for another 2. If we, but we got the 50% here. Got a downside pivot. Got to be a little bit careful of what's gonna happen next. And we did make 2 down. Not much, but we did. But you can see that it stalled at the 50%. So another thing now, this would have been great first couple of plays to the downside. Keep in mind, we are overextended, right? You can see that we are overextended on the May clouds. If we go to a smaller time frame, maybe the 10 or 15 minutes, you can see we are still overextended just by a little bit. 15 minutes, the same as well. So the 15-minute were extended. And the other thing I want you to note is now we've pretty much made a run from 413.6 to 410.6. So almost a $3 move. That's pretty powerful um, within 2 hours. So now we're looking for the bulls to potentially come in and at least make an attempt to push it back up, right? Because pretty much every single candle has been bearish, right? Two down, inside, two down, inside, bearish, engulfing, which is a down, two down, and two down again. So now we're expecting pretty much an up. So we did, right? We did not break this low. We, held at the 50%, and we just made a massive rocket back up to that 411.5. So almost a dollar move, right? So you could have taken that. That was your 2-2 reversal, and we're pretty much back to the clouds. So now we're seeing if we're going to make a 2 up and continue up, or it fails and stalls out, or can you make a 3 outside bar, right? We're not expecting an inside bar. Oh, so look at that. It's a 2 up, failed, hit this trend line. This is the breakout, right? The trend line breakout, right? Broke out, retested, failed here. This is where you would have gotten in, and then wrote it down, right? So that was pretty much 411.5 down to 410.36, right? This is outside bar, bearish engulfing. We're looking for a 2 or 1, not a 2 up. Highly unlikely we're going to get a 2 up right now. We're probably going to get a 1 candle or 2 down. And we got our 2 down, right? We pretty much closed below the 50%, came back up, tried to test that 50%. Now we came back down in pivot zone. So now we're 3-2. Maybe we're looking for a 3-2-2 now, right? We could get it up or we could get it down, but really depending on the way the price plays and the momentum, we're probably looking for that 3-2 down, right? 3-2-2 down, got it. So we are at the 50% in the daily low. Now we're expecting it to see, probably just make minimal movement, right? We don't expect it to drop to the 409 right away. We expect it to make a smaller movement. So again, you had a lot of opportunities to make play to the downside, right? And that was on the 15 minutes, right? If I flip it to excuse me, to the 10 minutes, we'll see something a little bit different, right? So we already talked about this good portion here. You could have taken this trade here because it rejected off the intraday pivot, hit the clouds, and this was your 2 down. This was inside here, but it was not a very good movement. You could have made a quick, move, not on SPY, maybe on ES, but this was not the great movement. But if we look here, we knew that it was overextended on the 15-minute. We were looking for that reversal, right? So this is your 10-minute candle. This is what would have helped you to get into this. This is your bearish engulfing on the 10-minute. You're 2 down, 3-2-2 down, right? And this is still 2 down, and then this is a 2 down as well. So now we're going to go back to the 15 minutes. So made another 2 down. Now we're overextended, and that's why you see us kind of stalling, right? We came down and it came back up, so it's a bullish engulfing. So this would have been a signal like, hey, we might need to go back up. We obviously closed below that 50%. So now we have a 3. We're looking for a 1, or we're looking for maybe a 2 up, just based on the way this is, right? Spain top doji signifies a potential shift in price. And we made it up, right? So we pretty much came down, could not go any lower. Your entry probably would have been around this 50%, 409.86, and then you could roll this thing, it looks like, all the way up to 410.65, which is the 50% for the weekly, right? So a good, 80 cents move. That would have been great in your premiums and whatnot. This is at 15 minutes, right? So again, but here's the thing to know, right? We are sitting in this pivot zone, right, between the 50% for the week and 50% for the month. And you can see that it's a doji Spain top, indecision on price right now, right? So this is an inside bar again. Momentum still bearish, and we still have the structure of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we're still looking for that down movement, and we get another down, right? So that is our down. Again, we are sitting in this, 409.8 and 495. So again, we came down, and price is starting to stall a little bit now. So now we gotta be careful. This was a engulfing candle, right? Outside bar took out the low and the high, and where price is starting to stall now, right? So this is a inside bar, spinning top, or doji inside bar. This is where I would have been like, okay, we made a run from 413.6 all the way down to 409, almost 409 flat, right? We're close to this. So to me, this is where I longed. The reason why is because we were into exhaustion, and also because we have pretty much this liquidity draw here. So we pretty much double bottom from Wednesday's low. So this was a good area to get in long. And then you saw this inside bullish engulfing, a inside bar, and then you would take in the long on the break of 409.69 and watch. So we came down, broke it, went up, and then your stops would have been set for this. And you can see what just happens next, right? Continue up. Now we're above the 50% for the month. At this point, we already made an outside day, right? So that was a couple things, and I'll point that out for you. So we'll just keep, and as we tread up, we just keep moving our stops up, right? And you can see it's just nothing but up. And as soon as we broke the 50% for the month, we knew that we had a strong chance to take out the 50% of the week, and also the change in structure, right? This was our change in structure, right? This 410.68, because that was where we stalled, and once we broke that, there was no longer a lower high, but a higher low and higher high now. And then that's pretty much it, right? This is after hours. Okay. So a couple things I want to point out. I showed you my game plan analytics. I marked off my levels, and I showed you just based on the EMA clouds, the strat, on 2 different time frames, where you could have taken it, right? On top of that, we had our pattern breakout, right? Let's just say you missed everything here, right? You could have waited for this wedge breakout and then the retest and then get back in. The reason why this would have been a very good trade is because we had a key level of 411.5. We had this trend line for the wedge, and we also hit the EMA clouds and rejected and couldn't get back in. So you could have taken that from 411.5.7 and that first 15-minute candle down to 410.37, right? So that would have been over $1 move in the 15-minute candle on your premiums, right? And then you could have gotten out here, and if you had runners, you could have just kept holding it. Another good area to get in would have been this intraday pivot of 412.5, right? At 11 o'clock a.m. U.S. Eastern time, we had this candle pull back, test this pivot, fail, and came back down. That would have been my entry right here, where it could no longer break this. I would have gotten in, and I would have set my stop somewhere in here. And then you could roll it from 412 down to the 409, because once it hit this, you just start moving your stops and whatnot. Another area is once we broke, remember if you were following my tweet, I said if we break the 411, I'd be looking for an outside day. An outside day was pretty much 410, right? So once we broke this 50%, this would have been the perfect area to get in into attempt to get to that 410, right? You could have gotten here at 410.6 and then hit that 410, and look, it gave you some more. Another area that we could have gotten in, based on what we see, is like you still could have gotten on this downside pivot, right? We were pretty much doing this 2 up inside bar, and then this candle, once we broke below the inside bar at 409.78, you could have gotten in because we rejected off downside pivot, and you could have rolled down to pretty much 409 flat. So again, like 80 cents move. I know, like you look in the candles, it doesn't look like it's big, but in terms of if you're playing SPX or SPY calls or puts, I should say, options, this would have been a good move for you. And then the other area we could have gotten in was that reversal, right? This was the reversal. We had a couple of reversals. We had the 50% week. First time we hit that, you know there's going to be a bounce. Same thing with the 50% month, right? We broke it, failed, came back up, right? But this right here was when we knew that, hey, we're running to exhaustion. We have a double bottom, and we have all the candles telling us, right? Bullish engulfing, inside bar, break above the inside bar, get in and ride it all the way up. So just a lot of different ways to tackle this market, to look at it, to trade it. And I try to show you multiple avenues and facets to trade this, right? We can even go on a 10 minute and around, look, so this is just basing. Right here is just basing. This is just basing, right? It just means that it can no longer, it's trying to push down, but it's running to exhaustion. And then at this point, this is what I would have gotten, right? This was the inside bar. It came down, failed. So now this is a 1, 2. And we're look next candle, we're looking for a 2, right? Either up or down. But the point is, it obviously didn't even getting close to going down. So at this point, you're like, okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 2 up. You could have taken it at 409.6, put your stop at the low of the day, pretty much 409, and with targeting, above the pivot zone and pretty much at this 406. So you were looking for a potentially $1 move up, and you were willing to risk pretty much 30 cents down. So you want $1 up, 30 cents down, right? That's pretty much a 3-to-1 ratio. And then once it broke above these levels, you would move your stop, right? Once you get in, it came up, you would put your stop at low, and then you keep moving along the way. So there's a lot of different things, and we didn't even talk about some other things such as the volume that we see, MACD, RSI, or anything else that you may utilize, or fair value gap. This is purely just based on the way the price is reacting to levels and the pivots. But like I said, I give you these pivots, I give you these levels. You could have played it, right? There's a lot of different times you could have played it. If you didn't get in at certain times, you could have gotten in on break of the pivot here, rejection off the pivot here, the overextension bounce up, break of the pivot, 50-day. There's just a bunch of things, and I'm just trying to show you that, look, the plan is always here for you all. It's a matter of whether you see it and whether you're able to capitalize on it. So hopefully this market recap will kind of help you see what I'm seeing. And like I said, this is only a glimpse. This is not everything. This is just kind of bringing it down and not trying to make a 4-hour video for you all, but really just to show you what you could potentially see just using the EMA clouds, my pivot levels and my key levels, and just reading how price action is telling us a story, right? Again, this is how I was able to make $4,000 on Friday. So anyway, guys and girls, hopefully this video was useful to you and bringing something to your equipment bag and opening some eyes and showing you something that you may not have seen before. As always, thank you for your support. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. And also check out Twitter, right? Every single day, you guys unlock my brain and give you full analysis of what I'm seeing and what I think the market can do. So thank you again, and I will catch you guys a little bit later. Thanks. Bye.